You know, have you ever wondered why some ideas just explode out of nowhere while others, well, they just fizzle out? It's not luck and it's not random. Today we're going to unlock the science of virality, straight from the amazing book Contagious. We're talking 6 key principles that explain why things catch on.
All right, here's a wild one for you. Which do you think gets more word of mouth? A once-in-a-lifetime trip to Disney World or a simple bowl of Cheerios? It sounds crazy, right? But believe it or not, people talk about Cheerios way more. Figuring out why is the secret to understanding what really truly makes us share things.
So, the answer to that whole Cheerios mystery? It's not magic, and it's not just random luck. A Wharton professor named Jonah Berger literally spent a decade digging into this. And what he found was a formula. He discovered that virality is a science, and it's built on 6 core principles that pretty much anyone can use to make their ideas take off.
And here they are. These are the 6 secrets to making an idea contagious. You can think of this as our roadmap for today. Social currency, triggers, emotion, public, practical value, and finally, stories. Let's dive into the first one.
Okay, principle number 1, social currency. The name says it all, right? The big idea here is that we share stuff that makes us look good. It's that simple. We want to look smart, we want to look cool, or like we're in the know.
I mean, think about it. We're all kind of managing our own personal brand, right? Whether we're conscious of it or not. And sharing that really clever article, that funny meme, or that exclusive piece of info, that's how we build up our reputation. It's how we tell the world who we are.
And just to be clear, we're not talking about actual money here. Social currency is all about the status we get from sharing things. It's that awesome feeling of being an insider, you know? Like you're the one who discovered the cool new band or the hidden gem restaurant before anyone else. Okay, let me give you a perfect example of this in action. Picture this. You're in New York City, and you walk into this hot dog joint called Criff Dogs. Looks normal enough. But in the corner, there's this old-school phone booth. You step inside, you pick up the phone, and a secret door swings open, revealing a hidden cocktail bar called Please Don't Tell.
Now this place does basically zero advertising. Why? Because it doesn't have to. Just knowing about it feels like a secret, and people love sharing secrets. The second you tell a friend about this hidden bar, you instantly look cool, you look connected. That is social currency at its finest.
All right, moving on to our second principle, triggers. And the motto for this one is super simple. Top of mind, tip of tongue. Basically, if people aren't thinking about your idea, they're definitely not going to be talking about it.
So what's a trigger? It's just some kind of cue in our environment that reminds us of an idea or a product. And guess what? This brings us right back to our Cheerios puzzle from the beginning. You only really think about Disney World when you're planning a big vacation, right? But breakfast? That happens every single day. It's a built-in daily trigger for Cheerios.
Here's another brilliant example of how powerful this is. Kit Kat saw their sales just soar after they ran a campaign that linked their candy bar to coffee. Think about it. Have a break, have a Kit Kat with your coffee break. By tying Kit Kat to the daily ritual of drinking coffee, they created this super frequent and powerful trigger that got people thinking about their chocolate bar every single day.
Our third principle is all about emotion. This one feels pretty intuitive, right? When we care about something, we share it. But what's really fascinating is that not all emotions are created equal when it comes to making a share.
The research shows that the real key isn't just any emotion, it's what they call high-arousal emotions. So feelings that get us fired up, like awe or excitement, even anger. Those are the ones that drive us to take action and share. On the other hand, low-arousal emotions like sadness actually make us kind of shut down and not share as much.
So get this, a super technical science article by a writer named Denise Grady all about how cough spread went massively viral. Was it useful for the average person? Not really. But the pictures of a cough just exploding in slow motion, they were so stunning, they made people feel a powerful sense of awe. And it was that feeling of awe that made everybody hit the share button.
Okay, next up we've got the principle of public. And the idea here is that we tend to copy what other people are doing, right? But here's the catch. We can only copy what we can see. So for ideas to really spread, they have to be visible.
This is such a classic story. When Apple was designing their early laptops, the logo was set to face the user when the lid was closed. But Steve Jobs had this moment of genius. He said, flip it. So that when the laptop was open and you're using it in a coffee shop, that glowing apple would be facing outwards for everyone else to see. It was so subtle, but it made the brand a public advertisement.
And this is really the heart of it. Our thoughts are private and invisible, but our behaviors are public and observable. You can't imitate what you can't see. So if you want an idea to catch on, you have to find a way to make it public and easy to imitate.
This quote just nails it perfectly. When you make a behavior observable, you're creating what's called social proof. We see other people using a product or doing a thing, and we become way more likely to do it ourselves. So remember this: if it's built to show, it's built to grow.
Now for our fifth principle, which is practical value. This one is based on a really fundamental part of human nature. We like to help each other out. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to share really useful information.
You want to hear a great example? There was this 83-year-old man named Ken Craig. He made a super simple video showing a totally clean, no-mess way to shuck an ear of corn. That video got millions and millions of views. Why? Because it was just pure, simple, practical value. It was news you can use, and people couldn't wait to share it to help their friends solve that annoying little problem.
The psychology behind what makes a good deal is another great little nugget of practical value, like the rule of 100. It tells us how to frame a discount to make it seem like the best deal. For anything under $100, a percentage off, like 20% off, sounds bigger. But for anything over $100, a specific dollar amount, like $100 off, feels way more substantial. Sharing a tip like that is just an easy way to feel helpful.
And that brings us to our sixth, and you could argue most powerful principle: stories. Here's the thing. People don't really share facts and data. They share narratives. Stories are like these Trojan horses that carry messages and lessons and brand ideas, all hidden inside what feels like just a bit of idle chatter. A good story is just naturally contagious.
So let's put it all together. This is your toolkit for making ideas spread. You need to give people social currency by making them feel smart and in the know. Create triggers in their everyday environment to keep your idea top of mind. Tap into high-arousal emotion. Make your idea public and observable. Pack it with genuinely practical value. And finally, wrap it all up in a compelling story. That's the Trojan horse that'll carry your message far and wide.
These 6 principles, they're the science behind why we share. It's a real framework that anyone can use for an idea they believe in. These are the keys that'll make sure your message isn't just heard, but that it's remembered and that it's passed on. So I guess the only question left is, what story will you tell?